Hello everyone. Okay, so it's Tuesday. It is, oh look at that, bang on 6 o'clock. And it's time for my Taster Tuesday session. Little glimpse, let me just put the camera straight, or is it me wonky? Half an hour with me where I show you different breathing techniques, and each week I'll alternate between some functional breathing and some mind-body stuff. And today it is the functional side that we're looking at. Now I just want to double check that I am actually going live in the Facebook group, although this video will be on replay and also put it on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, hi, thanks very much. Just double checking. Yeah, lovely. Now, I can't actually see any comments. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, Victoria, Vicky, thank you very, very much for watching live. I thought I was going to be talking into the ether then for a minute. But I don't know what the delay is, because I know when I've been on the receiving end of lives, the host has been chattering away and it's been, you know, a few seconds or so before everything's updated. But anyway, let's not blather on. It's just too hot for that. Is everyone okay? Are you melting? For those of you who don't live in the UK, we are suffering at the moment with a bit of a heat wave. We are not used to it in the UK, especially in England. We are used to rainy summers and it is very, very hot at the moment. So I've got a nice cool drink. Please make sure you have got a drink with you. I'm going to be sharing something that hopefully will help for you tonight. It's a technique that I love. Looks a bit weird, but I promise you it does the trick. Yeah, I'm getting comments up. It is too hot. Yeah, it certainly is, and I'm just melting. So we're going to keep this short and sweet, and then I'm going to go and sit in my refrigerator for half an hour. Yeah. Although I've got these mats, got them, you know, to try and help me with my my menopausal hot sweats, but I just put it on me for about 2 seconds and suddenly it's warm already. I think they're doggy cool mats, so woof woof. Anyway, I digress. So welcome to this week's Taster Tuesday Breathwork session. This is our weekly space to just pause, breathe and reconnect. As I said, tonight we're exploring, well, it's a powerful sweet spot actually, how your breath can energize you without overstimulating you and then calm you at the same time, but without switching you off completely. Okay. So if you are watching this on replay, I would love for you to still comment. And if you're watching this on YouTube, again, comment. It really helps me to know where you all are, what time of day you tend to be watching these videos. I mean, 6 o'clock in the evening suits me and my family, but I'd love to know when is the best time for you. So, as I have got a live viewer, I'm going to ask you, pop an emoji in the comments to let me know what you're feeling. You can go really, I know my emoji would probably be, you know, the melty one, the hot and melty one, but it might be the sleepy one, it might be the brain energizing one, it might be you know, any of the, no, you can get loads of amazing emojis. And I do love emojis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, same again. I think I'm sweating. No, my mum always said women don't sweat, we glow. So I think I'm glowing within an inch of my life at the moment. So let's get back on track with the breath work. Why does it matter? Why am I a real breath nerd? Why am I trying to convert you into this cult? Well, your breath is one of the most intelligent systems in your body. Yeah? When we understand how to guide it, we can shift our energy on purpose, you know? Most of us breathe it's either too fast and shallow when we're stressed out, which obviously burns us out, excuse the pun, or we breathe too heavily, you know, when we're tired, which just keeps us sluggish. But tonight we're going to use light and balanced breath. Now, why am I going to show you light and balanced breath? Well, 3 reasons. The first one, it increases your oxygen delivery. The second, it calms the nervous system. And probably most important for me at the moment, it sharpens focus without the tension. Okay, you don't get a head explosion. So let me start my timer because I don't want to run over. Each of these breathing techniques we're going to practice for 5 minutes. It's only going to be, I've got 3 techniques to show you. Okay, it's going to be a bit of equal breathing, a bit of light nose breathing, and something I call cooling straw breath. If you do yoga, you probably know this breath as something else, but I don't speak Sanskrit. I'm not a yoga expert, so I'm calling it the cooling straw breath. So let me start my timer, and so let's start with our equal breathing. So the first thing I'd like you to do is get nice and comfortable. Okay, you can lie down, that's fine, but if you're sat, I want you to make sure that you're supported. Okay, then your back straight, because we want nice straight so that we can open the chest and give our lungs more room to move. And feel free to close your eyes and just notice your breath. First of all, notice as you're breathing in and breathing out. Is it fast? Is it slow? Now what we're going to do is we're going to equal our inhales and our exhales, just to bring the nervous system into balance. I'm going to count 4 seconds in and then 4 seconds out, still in and out through the nose. Now 4 seconds doesn't feel good for you, 3 seconds, that's fine, 6 seconds. The trick here is to find the count that works for you. So I'm going to start counting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. All through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale. As I said, if the 4 count doesn't feel good for you, find your own count. Just make sure you're inhaling through the nose and then you're exhaling through the nose. For the last two minutes, I'm just going to let you do the count yourself. Just find a nice, smooth, steady rhythm. You're bringing your nervous system back into balance. Not feeling too sleepy. Not feeling too activated. Nice, equal breathing. There's just a minute left. Keep going. You're doing so well. And once you've got this equal breathing technique, it's yours. When you need a bit of moment's peace, you'll have it. There's just 30 seconds left. Keep going with that beautiful, beautiful rhythm. Nice steady count. And then when you get to your next exhale, you can let the breath go back to its normal routine. And that's 5 minutes of equal breathing. Just, balancing up our system, especially after a hectic and hot day. But any time. I use this one quite a lot. In fact, I do use it in the morning before I get out of bed, and then in the evening, just as soon as I've turned the light out, I just do a bit of equal breathing to help me sleep. So what's the next technique? So now I want to teach you a light nose breathing. Now, why did I want to bring this in today? Well, today's Taster Tuesday is all about functional breathing. And our bodies are so used to being stressed out, constantly on high alert. And the reason being is the way we breathe builds up our CO2 level, and it puts our muscles and our bodies in that fight or flight response. Now the thing is, CO2 is fabulous in our body. It helps. I won't bore you with the detail, but it's a part of our system, our respiratory system that we need, and our circulatory system that we need. But we need to get our body used to having this CO2 in our body, so that we don't automatically go into hyper overdrive, So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of light nose breathing for 5 minutes. That's might make you feel as though, flipping heck, Kim, I need to breathe. I'm not breathing enough. But I promise you, you are. Even when you exhale to your fullest and you blow out as much air as you can, your lungs still have oxygen in it. Your blood system still has oxygen in it. Your brain still has oxygen in it. This is why, why do you think free divers can train their bodies so that they can dive under for 8-10 minutes or more without breathing? It's because our bodies store oxygen. So we don't actually need that gulping inhale to put oxygen into our bodies. So this one is, as I said, we're still breathing through our nose for this one. So I want to make sure you're closing your mouth and you're breathing very softly and very lightly. You might have to gradually pull it down a notch. What I tell my clients is, imagine you've got one of those gorgeous little downy angel feathers in front of your nose. And as you're breathing, you're trying not to make that feather move. So you're not holding your breath, but you aren't inhaling or exhaling heavily enough to make that little imaginary feather move. Yeah? I think this one is better when you practice it. So again, smooth and subtle is the key for this one. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. I want you to get nice and comfortable. I hope you're nice and relaxed after that equal breathe. And now we're going to go to the light nose breathing. So I'm going to count you down, and we always, I always inhale first. I think it's a natural instinct to inhale first. So I'm going to count us down, and then we're going to start inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and you're going to begin to soften it and begin to lengthen it, and you're going to make it lighter and lighter. Okay, so let me start my timer. There we go. So nice normal rhythm for the moment. Again, you'll just perhaps close your eyes, because then you're not distracted with everything else around you, and you're in your own little bubble, your little space. And just noticing your breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And perhaps you're feeling your tummy move in and out as the breath goes down. And as you're exhaling, the tummy moves in as it's pushing the air out back through the nose, but nice and gently. And perhaps if you can, just soften that breath. You're still going to let the breath come in, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Imagine that little downy feather in front of your nose, and it's not really moving much at all. Smooth and subtle. We're teaching our bodies that we don't need to breathe heavily to get the oxygen that we need to survive. And we're not in any danger. We are perfectly safe. And perhaps you might like to soften your breath even more. And perhaps you can imagine your breath like a delicate thread, smooth and subtle, going down into your lungs. Where that wonderful gas exchange happens. And of course, breathing through your nose, you're encouraging that gas exchange. You're helping your hemoglobin to actually grab onto that oxygen as it's absorbed into the bloodstream. You're helping by breathing through your nose nice and gently to just widen those blood vessels, to make it easier for our bodies to absorb the oxygen it needs. And perhaps you might feel yourself breathing even lighter still. Your breath is really soft at the moment. That imaginary downy feather is hardly moving at all, but you feel good. You're in control. Your body is getting the nourishment it needs. Your brain is receiving the oxygen that it needs. And our nervous system is nice and calm and safe. And you're improving the oxygen efficiency with this light nose breathing. And you may find that you're thinking more clearly. You haven't had to trigger any fight or flight response to get the reaction you need. And this is your body's natural state. This beautiful, light nose breathing. You've got 30 seconds left. Just revel in how it feels. And again, this technique is yours. You can practice it whenever you like. And now, as we've hit the 5 minutes, just gently allow your breath to come back and find its own natural rhythm. What feels comfortable for you? And perhaps you notice how your body feels now. How do your muscles feel? How does your brain feel? How are your thoughts feeling? We're all different. And we all react to these breathing techniques in a different way. So what I'm trying to do is to teach you all a wide variety of safe breathing practices that you can do at home, and you can tweak. You can, play with these breathing techniques and make them yours. Because we have the power ourselves to change how we feel about things, to change the chemicals just flooding our systems. We can change how quickly our bodies bounce back, our resilience. It's all in our breath. So I want to move on to the final technique. Now this is the one I said that it looks a bit strange and a bit peculiar, but I promise you it is magical, and I've been doing it a lot these last few days. I call it the cooling straw breath. So why am I calling it that? Well, that's because I'm going to get you to roll your tongue. Now I know not everyone can roll their tongues. And that's fine, that's no problem. What you do is, instead of rolling your tongues, you just purse your lips slightly, and then imagine you're sipping in the air slowly through a straw. So anyway, it looks like this. I'm not going to be able to speak. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So what I'm doing is I'm breathing in over my tongue when it's rolled, and then I'm breathing out through my nose. Okay, now it does take a little bit getting used to. Okay. And when you close your mouth again, you can feel the air has cooled over your tongue, and that actually helps to cool you down. I learnt this one when I was going through, my mentor taught me when I was really menopausal and going through a lot of hot sweats, and she said, have you tried this one, Kim? And I must admit, I don't think I'd seen it anywhere else. So thank you for that one. But now I'm doing it all the time, especially in this heat wave we've got in the UK at the moment. So why does it work? Imagine sort of dogs and cats, animals. When they're hot, they pant, don't they? Now, I don't want you to pant, because that brings on hyperventilation, and that does something completely different to your body, okay? But by breathing slowly and gently over your tongue, it's cooling the body, but also it's cooling your mind, because again, you're focused on breathing in, so it's all about awareness. It also brings a gentle alertness, which sounds really, what's the word? It sounds opposite to what you think it would do, but you feel calm. I find most of these techniques, when you're having to think about them and focus and concentrate on what you're doing, it calms all the chatter in the brain, okay, because you are only focused on the one thing. So this particular breath, as I said, is perfect when you're feeling flustered, or actually when you're feeling a bit lethargic. It's a subtle reset for both your energy and your nervous system. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, or we're going to sip the cool air together, and then exhale like you're releasing the heat, okay? The heat, the tension and the pressure is all coming out when you're breathing out with your nose, okay? So I'm going to start the timer, and we're going to do 5 minutes of this. Ready? Even after 30 seconds, I'm feeling cooler. How about you? Okay, so let's do it again. Nice and long and slow. There's no count for this one, so I want you to go at your own pace. You can feel the coolness of your tongue as it rests on the roof of your mouth. So I'm going to do some more. done. Keep going. It's marvellous. So you're calming yourself down, but you're also bringing an alertness because you're really aware of the coolness of your tongue. So keep going. Breathing in. And gently let all the heat and the tension out through your nose. There's 30 more seconds. Go at your own pace. Beautiful. So how do you feel now? Let your breath go back to its normal breathing. And notice how you feel now. In fact, notice how you feel now compared to half an hour ago. Feel free to, again, share a word in the comment to let me know if you've noticed a change, if you've noticed a difference. Maybe something like you are clear-headed, steady, lighter, cooler. Though perhaps I'd need to do a few more cooling straw breaths to do that. But it is amazing, and I've really dampened down my breath nerd side tonight. But you can see why I'm so excited about it all, and I love sharing these techniques with you all. So it's time. Thank you very much for being here, for showing up for your breath, and for starting July with such a beautiful intention. I'll see you next Tuesday at 6 o'clock for a mind-body session, and it's all going to be about intuition. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your evening, and bye.